Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here. This review take a look at Transformers Legacy United Cybertron Universe Hotshot. Now, I have really no connection to this character. I didn't buy any toys from the Unicron trilogy back in the early 2000s when all these figures were coming out. I thought some looked cool. I just never bought any. I don't know why, but I guess I was trying to be an adult, be responsible. But now I'm older and say, screw being responsible. I'm going to be irresponsible and buy these toys. I went and picked this guy up just because he looked cool. I really liked the look of his alt mode, so I wanted to get this guy just to see how the figure is. So right here is the packaging. You see 17 steps is going to get you all the way around. He does come with his little cyber key. See, I don't know all the details of the Unicron trilogy of stories, cartoons, comics, and stuff like that. Like I said, I thought this guy looked really cool, especially in vehicle mode. So I want to go ahead and grab this guy and take a look at him. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. We're going to get your handy dandy instructions, but I didn't have to use these. 17 steps get you transformed. I didn't once look at the instructions, and I was able to transform him, but I think I did do one step wrong. But as a step you really didn't have to do, because I still got into car mode just fine. So the instructions show you where you can store his weapons and his cyber key on his back, and of course the transformation. And here is the figure. Accessories he comes with his gun, which is very reminiscent of the gun he had when he came out. Of course, that one back then had firing projectiles. You can see how they still mimic the little push down button, but this does not fire, but it does support blast effects, so that is cool there. And of course you're going to get your cyber key. It looks red. I think they were red back then. I'm not sure. I think the Decepticons were purple, but if you look at it at certain angles, you can see it's got that transparent yellowish orange color. I think it's this. I think they just sort of a touch of red paint on that, and it gives it that look. Every now and then you get that dual look of orange and red. So you get this right here, and that's his accessories. Comes in the tissue paper in the back of the box. Here is the figure. Now he doesn't have everything that the original had. Now the original was more like Hot Rod. This one here, he still resembles Hot Rod. That's one thing. When I opened the guy up, I was like, he just looks like Hot Rod, especially in his shin designs down there with the arrows and stuff. Chest is very similar. Now the original one did have like guns on his wrist, on his forearms, like Hot Rod. Here they are omitted on this figure. And instead of having the transparent yellow wings, he has red wings that can come out. You can fold them down. They come out. This is more reminiscent of his Legends class figure that came out way back when. It was the small little figures that had red wings on the side. Now, I do like the goldish yellow transparent plastic on the figure. The paint apps are applied very well on my copy. I do love the colors and everything. And I think I actually prefer the red wings coming out. My only he's got some cons on the robot mode, and I'm going to go over those real quick. His feet bug me, and I'll show you more on that when we look at the articulation and stuff. Also, his head. He's got blue painted eyes in there, but they are very hard to see in certain kinds of light. I was trying to take pictures of this guy to put on Instagram and for the video thumbnail. I could not get his eyes to be in the photo. It's always just dark shadows because of the forehead crest that comes over his face. It really does hide the overall eyes, and trying to get the light in there is very, very hard. So he does get that dead face look, but it looks kind of cool if you want him to be like an assassin or something. I don't know his character in the old show or anything. Overall, he's fine. He's a bit kibbly. You can see he does have a backpack piece that comes down over his butt, and that's going to be in your way. He's got the big pieces over his forearms, kind of blocking his hands, and his feet will also bother me anyway. Your copy may vary. I'll show that off in a minute. Pick this guy real quick here. He does have this piece here that folds in to make this part, and it can be kind of tricky sometimes. Mine does come untapped fairly easily sometimes. It just depends on how you hit it. You can see here the dead eye look. You see he's got two beautiful eyes in there, but it's just really hard to get that to shine through. Now again, it's been really hard to see the eyes, and the articulation is there. Even though this piece comes out, it comes like this for book mode. You can go a little bit more out that way. I wouldn't push it too hard because you will crack the transparent plastic, but by doing that, it does give you clearance to go all the way around 360 in robot mode. Now coming down to the feet, what bugged me is his feet fold out and they kind of lock into these little grooves here. This one does just fine. This one here does not. And if I try to get in there, it just pops out from the little peg here. So that is the only thing that really bugs me in his feet in his robot mode. Then his forearms here, these come over his hands. He does have mushroom pegged hands, so you do get a 360 all the way around for the articulation there. These do block your gun, but this does move, so you can get the gun here. But when you move it out a certain way, it will hit the tire, so you have to move it back to get your elbow articulation here, which is about 90 degrees. You get your bicep swivels here, shoulders. Get this piece here, just bops himself in the head. Hard to 360 around because they got these wings. These do fold down, but you're still going to hit that here. You can turn that like that to get it around. Then you can bring these back out. Kind of hard to get your fingers in there. You can detach this and pull this back piece out to get to those a little bit easier. Head is on a, see that came undone, is on a ball joint. No up, got a slight down. You can 360 that all the way around. You got good splits, good kick forward, kick back. You're going to hit this, knee bends about 90 degrees, thigh swivels. You get ankle tilts for days. You can flip them all the way over like this. Of course, your toes you can rock back and forth. I think I just covered all the articulation. Like I said, yeah, wrist and swivel. I think I got everything on that right there. So as few problem areas in robot mode, nothing too serious, but it can make it hard for me to get him to stand up when I want him to stand because of the feet problem and getting his gun into his hands. He's going to fall over to that foot there, wants to fold up, doesn't want to stay locked in that part. So we got to get his hand, his foot already popped back out. Log that in, it says Sports Blast Effects. You can take the key here, it's got this little tab right here and goes right in this middle piece here. I think in the toy, from what I read, when you would plug this in, it would unlock, well, dropped it. It'll pop the wings out. You see the wings right here on the sides. I think in vehicle mode it'll make them pop out or something like that. Again, obviously I didn't have the toy. I just know what I read briefly, trying to look up a little bit of history on this character. Do a quick comparison here with his original. Oh my God, see that foot is what's bugged me. Do a quick comparison here with his original toy, and then with the Legends class version. You can see that's where the red wings here are reminiscent of, but his big, huge shoulders pretty much block the wings. You don't get a good profile of those. And next to the Legacy United hot shot from based on the Armada toy, and we can bring in this guy. I don't remember his name off about top of my head, but he was just right here on the table. And we got this IDW version of Blur. Get a sense of scaling. He's a deluxe figure, but he's actually a decent size for a deluxe figure nowadays. I guess I can bring in Ironhide. Now I'll show you, because Ironhide is this is actually a Voyager class, but he's pretty much the same height as the deluxe Siege version and stuff. You can see he's pretty much the height of Ironhide. Alright, let's transform this figure. Like I said, he was very easy to transform. I didn't even need the instructions. We're going to fold these back in. Come down here to his feet. We will open these up, fold the foot in. This, you close it back up. You come here, this is going to open. And you're going to collapse his legs inside. Bring his arms up out of the way. And like this. And you do that, and you close this back around it. The other one. Close this back up around it. You can see the little hooks here are tabs. You're just going to tab this together like this. Come to this piece here. We're going to untab this from the back. Fold that in. While we're doing this, fold his head in. You're going to take his arms here. You're going to fold up like this. I'm going to tab that together. Take this piece here, spin it 180, and you're going to bring this back, this, close it down, it'll tab in. Take this here, you can see all these little tabs here are going to go all up in the front. Let's bring this down, tab that down. And we'll bring these doors in. You can see there's these little tabs here. I'm going to go right in here. Let's bring this in. Line that up. Tab it in. Do the same on the other one. Tab it in. There you go. You have transformed Hotshot Cybertron Universe Hotshot into vehicle mode. Very, very simple transformation. Now storage for the weapon, gun, go right here. And you take the cyber key and would peg in back here. And I think his original toy is said when you would peg this in, it would pop the wings out. And I think you can still get these in vehicle mode. You just have to get your fingernails or something in there to grab a hold of this. And you can bring these out like that. Now, I don't know if he flew or something like tracks or anything, but pop these out here. Oh, that came back undone here. There we go. So the main reason why I bought this guy, I don't really care for that, close that in. It was for the look of the alt mode. I really love the look of this alt mode here. We got 1-pin tires in the front. The rear tires are just the little snap-ins. So these roll extreme. You see, I love pinned-in tires. Look how those spin. Compare these. Spin like junk stuff you got at the dollar store back in the 1980s. Turn to the back side. Nothing really painted back there, but it folds up nice and neat. Looks fine to me. Nothing to complain about there. Nice silver paint here on the sides as well. Really do like the transparent. Like I said, it makes it look more quality when you have this transparent plastic as opposed to painted windshields. But then it does decrease, I think, the overall quality of the plastic, so you're more prone to breakage. This is painted right here. You can see how well they match that up. More metallic looking on the paint than the actual plastic here. Got this yellowish gold paint back here. Looks really good in my opinion. Yellow paint here. Silver paint right there as well. And this right here is just different plastic. It's a darker blue. And that's for the articulation of the shoulders. Of course, you got the red plastic, red paints and stuff. Now about insignia on the shoulder in robot mode. I don't know if I really showed that off in robot mode, but it's there. So rolls really good. Even with the pinned in, the snap-in tires in the back. I think these pinned in tires really help out with the rolling. See, just zooms. All right, some comparisons in vehicle mode. Here it is next to Studio Series Bumblebee movie Ratchet, Earthrise, Cliff Jumper. We can exchange this out and bring in, I think it was Scrap Hook here. They're both deluxes. Like I said, Hotshot is a pretty big deluxe figure. We got the Deluxe Studio Series Gamer Edition Decepticon Soldier, who's also a very huge car in alt mode, especially for being a deluxe figure. He is massive in alt mode. Take him out of the way. But I mean, alt mode really shines. I really do like the look of this guy in alt mode. We'll just do some comparisons here with his original toy. And if I hold this up a little bit higher, you can see a little bit more. All right, so final thoughts on this figure here. I really like it. For 25 bucks, I think it's definitely worth it for this toy. He does have some flaws, and that's mainly in the feet on my copy. That's something that is probably going to vary from copy to copy. Accessories seem to be lacking, but he is a big guy, so he's a decent sized figure for a deluxe in vehicle and in robot mode. So I think that makes up for the price point. He's not really all that hollow. His inner thighs are kind of hollow and stuff, but he's got a lot. He is kind of kibbly, and I can see that maybe bothering some people with the backpack piece hanging over his butt and the things on his forearms. But my main complaint is just his feet on my copy, and just hard to get a good photograph of his face because of the shadows from his forehead crest. It really blocks his eyes. Overall, he makes an excellent vehicle mode, and it's a figure I'm glad to have in my collection, even knowing nothing about this character really and no connection to this series. I still think it's an excellent Transformer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until the next one. Peace out.